Ganadipati, Tulsi's Jain Engineering College.
Bhaskaran, Dean, Sense VIT University, Chennai. Respected our Principal, Dr. B. Ramakrishna, respected CEO, Sri Pathasarathi, respected heads of various disciplines, respected faculties, external participants, my dear EC students, very good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. We would like to take this opportunity to express our hearty welcome on my behalf, on our institute behalf, to Honorable Chief Guest Dr. V.S. Kanchana Bhaskaran for honoring our invitation to be the chief guest of this function and inaugurate this FIFACI 13. I also welcome our beloved principal Dr. B.V. Ramakrishna, who is always supporting to this function, who is always mentor for us. I welcome you, sir. Hearty welcome to our CAO, Steve Pathasarathi, and we are very happy to have him with us as a guest of honor on this occasion. Welcome you, sir. We extend our hearty welcome to our respective HODs of various disciplines. Welcome, sir, and welcome you, ma'am. Special welcome to our EC faculties and our participants and my dear students. I would like to brief about FIFACI 13. FIFACI means Exploring Electronics from Pico to Acto. We have called various areas of electronics. We have called various papers from the electronics and communication fields. Other than paper presentation, we have project expo and technical and non-technical events. So students try to explore and enhance your knowledge on electronics and field. Once again, I welcome you all this function and grace this thanking. Good luck for the external participants. Thank you one and all.
Commander of the Indian Navy, Dr. B.V. Ramakrishna, to honor our chief guest, Dr. V.N. Kanchana Bhaskaran, Science Director, VIT Chennai.
Discipline is just choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Now, I request the Honorable Principal to give his presidential address.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Our respected Managing Trustee and Correspondent, Shri N. Sogalchenjinji, who was supposed to be present here this morning, but because of the inclement weather and pouring rain, not cats and dogs, it's pouring giraffes and elephants in Chennai. He is not able to come by road, and he has asked me to convey the good wishes for the function this morning. Again, our Secretary T. Amarchand Jainji, who is also away on an urgent business trip to Rajasthan, he has also asked me to convey the wishes, good wishes for the successful completion of this event. The chief guest for the day, Dr. V.S. Kanchana Bhaskaran, Dean and Professor of Electronics and Communication Engineering of Vellore Institute of Technology, Chief Administrative Officer, Shri T.V. Parthasarathi, Head of Department of ECE, Srimati A. Mani Megalai, Head of Departments, faculty members of ECE, my dear students from GTech and other nearby or far off participating colleges. In lieu of my dear students, I want to address you as the future technical administrators and technical managers of our great Indian society. On behalf of my management, myself, I once again extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you for this event. I know on last Saturday when we had the Information Technology Symposium, I gave one small idea. I think it may be a repetition, but as educationalists, I wanted to give this information to you, the evolution of what is a symposium, how symposiums or seminars have come in. Now, whether we believe or not, there is something known as God. God is the creator. That's what people say that. After that, people who don't believe in God say the whole evolution has taken place due to theory of Darwin, where from amoeba, the microorganism, over a period of billions of years of the earth's existence, the human, the present persons we are sitting here, or standing, or on the dais, who have got the sixth sense, have got eventually developed. Now God has bestowed upon this human race, and not only on the human race, every living creature in the world, especially the earth, to multiply itself, to make them more number. That's what, if you see in the English dictionary, you call it procreation, creation, procreation. Then came was the invention. Now, for the human being, if you go back to the prehistorical days, we call it a Neanderthal man. And Neanderthal man lived in the caves and was eating raw flesh of animals. The biggest invention which came to the human race was the fire. If fire was not there, nothing can exist in this world. The next one of the greatest inventions was given to the human race was a wheel. First thing in a wheel, even in our villages we see, if you want to make powder, flour out of wheat or flour out of rice, we put it between two stones and try to grind it, grinding stone. That also is a wheel. From there, every sphere of engineering technology is now, without a wheel, nothing happens. Today we have got laptops. The CD drive is driven by a wheel. You fly an aircraft, the gas turbines, the blades are put on a wheel. Cars, the wheels, everything is wheel. That's another wonderful invention. Next comes is discovery. Columbus discovered America in the 16th or 17th century. Is a statement what you have read in 6th standard, 5th standard or 4th standard. What is discovery? Cover. This is my hand. I covered my hand here. Opposite of cover is discover. I discovered my hand. So what happens is, nature has given so many things. Now, the apple was falling from the tree, not only at the time of Newton, even much before the Newton was born, when the Earth's gravity existed, when Earth peeled off from the sun star and started, it was a huge ball of gas. With the spin, it started towards the centripetal force, not centrifugal force, centripetal centered towards inside, where the mass core was there, and slowly started cooling. So, that time also, after that, when the trees came in, the apple was falling. But it is only to the eyes of Newton he discovered. Next in the line comes is myself, our chief guest, Dr. Rajani. We all call ourselves doctors, PhD, or some of the professors are already doing the PhD. What do you call this? Research. What do you mean by research? Search, tedrathu. Research means keep on searching again on a fact, on a postulate, and try to analyze and find out what is there inside that. That is what is research. And next to the research comes is technical seminars and symposium. This is how the hierarchy of that. Because today whatever you are presenting in your technical symposium will sow the seeds for you to become a researcher. From the researcher, you become a discoverer. From the discoverer, you may be, I don't know, maybe I may be present in this world or not. One among you could be an inventor. But today, inventions have been split into small fragments known as patents. I think in US and all, or Europe, if you see, persons between the age group of 13 and 18 also have got patents. So it is not the question of age, it is the question of insight into the knowledge, in-depth knowledge. That's what gets you into that inventor stage. Now, as a presidential address, since almost 400 to 500 students are sitting here, it's my moral duty, moral obligation to put across certain things, what is required. Many of you are final years, third years, and second years. Final years is a matter of 6 months. Third years is a matter of 1.5 years. And the second years, it's a matter of 2.5 years, where today, under the patronage of your parents, under the protection of your college, you are in a sheltered atmosphere. When you step out of the college, the world is not so. You have to fend for yourself. Every foot you put forward, there are obstacles. But then, how you look at the obstacles? Because there's a great saying, for every solution there's a question, and for every question there's a solution. So do you want to look at it negative or positive is what that matters in you. To cross the obstacle itself, I repeat, underline, as a stepping stone to success. This is what is known as positive thinking. Now, today, LPG we call it. I'm not talking about the LPG gas in which the mother is cooking food. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. That has touched even the educational system also. That's why when I did my engineering in 72, 77, there were only 9 engineering colleges with only 200 students intake per year. Today, there are 550 to 570 engineering colleges. In addition to that, more than 30 universities under Rule 3 of UGC, called either deemed universities or university itself, are churning out almost as much as 3 lakh students of various disciplines. Now, when you go out, now you will be given a small piece of degree, either can be from VIT or can be from Anna University or can be anything. It says Miss so-and-so or Mr. so-and-so qualified in so-and-so degree with so-and-so grading, given under the seal of the Senate and the Vice Chancellor. That's what you call it, a degree. Now, is that enough? Is the question you have to answer yourself. Now, whole of the university, if you see, is divided into 2 entities or 2 elements. One is a product, second is a service. Today, as students, for you the product is BE degree education, where you have to have quality education. Then what is the service? It's the soft skills. You have to add on your soft skills and give a superior service. And this is what we call, for your normal degree, you give a value addition so that you are above somebody in the competitive world and you have a competitive advantage to ensure when you go and stand there for the interview, you are selected with a tick and says walk in and this is your appointment order. That's what you have to ensure. Yeah. Can you switch on? Yesterday, in fact, September 9th, I was going through the Educational Plus Hindu edition of Bangalore. I saw a good article, maybe you can move on. Can I request the Honorable Chief Guest and others on the dais too? Basically, it says a good SOP will take you to places. In that photograph, it calls foreign universities. It is not only foreign universities. I'll put it this way, a MNC, foreign job also. Now what I'm trying to say, do not look at the t-shirt or the jeans. Do not look at the jeans the lady is wearing or the wonderful kurti she is wearing. But look at the bag in which what all they are. The boy, it says, no backlogs in bachelor degree. Every university, every job seeker, employer is saying is no backlog in bachelor degree. Please clear all backlogs before you leave your own college, either GTech or from wherever you come. Second one, what is seen is academic research work. This academic research work is nothing but your symposium. In this symposium itself, after giving the write-up, finally, if you can add one paragraph known as analysis, you analyze and then conclude. And if conclude has got even 0.01 or 0.2% of truth in it, you are a researcher. This is what the foreign universities are looking at. Third is, in his left hand, this boy has got a bunch of papers. Papers published in well-known journals and symposiums. That journal or symposium should have ISBN, ISSN number, unless otherwise it is not marketable outside the world. Okay, I have published so many papers, you can say that. Coming to the girl, he says, leadership qualities. Day one onwards, today is a fast-track world. They don't want to waste their money in training up in their institutions. Day one itself, they give you a job and you have to start working. So unless otherwise you have the leadership qualities, the first thing what they say is leader by example. Leader should know what he's talking. Leader should know what he's doing. Then only he can lead the team. And then awarded for volunteering in social services. Now like NSS, NCC, this gives a positive thinking. Today outside world is talking about what are you doing, not only for yourself, for your system, for your village, for your society and mankind. This is what they are looking at. And it's very clearly spelled out. I don't want to read the full statement. It talks about two things. One is SOP, second it talks about LOR. SOP means statement of purpose. What is your purpose? What is your purpose as is what I want to achieve in getting that. Unless otherwise you do not pen down your statement of purpose, you are reaching nowhere. You are just living there only. You are not inching forward. Next most important thing is LOR. A lot of students, everywhere today's student community, they keep on saying, oh, no problems. LOR means a letter of recommendation by your head of departments or faculty members or people of repute. When somebody says, Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Kanchana Bhaskaran, PhD, member of IEEE, member of IET, member of so-and-so, member of so-and-so, member of so-and-so, with her training signature, she says, I recommend so-and-so, so-and-so. That becomes the credential letter of recommendation, and that gives you weightage for you for job, weightage for a scholarship in universities also. You don't understand that. That's why it's only a matter of small time. You have to get into that and do that. Now I think I've given a little serious thought. Now I'm a different type of engineer. I learned a lot of engineering by studying books like you, either in engineering from 72 to 77 or maybe post-graduation from 80 to 84. But most of the knowledge in engineering I have gained out of reading novels and seeing English movies. Today in final year ECE you got laser. As a young lad who was doing 7th standard, 8th standard in 1967-68, first time I saw a laser in a picture. Sean Connery, James Bond 007, his first movie known as Goldfinger. In that the laser was shown. The James Bond is made to lie on an iron slab, which is 1 foot thick, and then with a focus laser they cut the 1 foot thick of iron slab. There is another James Bond movie known as Diamonds Are Forever. Diamonds have got the wonderful absorbability, reflectivity. So these diamonds are studded into a huge dish antenna. They are taken up there. The solar energy is picked up from there, and then the laser is projected with a pinpoint. The Korean chap tries to destroy every city, North Korean chap. Like this, you can keep on saying. There's a beautiful movie I said, Communications, with Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, that is known as Crimson Tide. A nuclear submarine is nuclear powered and nuclear warheads with ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. That means the missiles have to get out of the atmosphere, go to the outer space and make a re-entry with multiple warheads trying to attack almost 18 to 20 cities. Your digital signal processing, radar, communication, everything is present in that one small missile, self-control, automatic. In that the beauty is, they get the order. It talks about DSP and communication theory, where a message comes, analog signal, convert into digital, and from there transmitted to satellite, comes back, and suddenly what happens? The transceiver, one PCB burns. They don't know what to do, whether to fire a nuclear missile or not. It's another movie, that's a wonderful movie. Why so much? Yesterday, last night, in Star Movies or HBO, there was a repetition of the movie known as Independence Day. You know about it, the aliens come and do that. What is there in that? So aliens put jammers, jam all the frequencies, all your satellite communication is over. At last, you know what comes in? It is the Morse code with which they try to communicate. There is no end for learning, there is no end for knowledge, how to utilize it, what to do. So what you have to do is, this is what the difference between you and people of our age. When we look at the movie, we enjoy the movie, plus we pick up the technology and knowledge from that also. Like this. Second is, there are authors like Robin Cook for medicine. Today medical electronics is reaching such a heights. Tomorrow electronics and medicine are none other than each other. Today every equipment for a surgeon or a doctor is electronically controlled equipment only, starting with your MRI, CT scans. Why so much? If somebody has to do a small tumor to be removed from the head, they drill a hole, use a laparoscopic method, and then there is something known as gamma knife surgery. Gamma knife is gamma radiations from radioactive material. They try to focus it like a laser and try to take out the tumor. All this doctor may be doing the operation, neurologist or neurosurgeon. Those equipment has to be supported by this EC, ladies and gentlemen, without which the doctor cannot do it. You don't know what your power is. The power is in your hand. Open it up, use it. Last but not the least, I think we have our chief guest, eminent person who has got more than almost 3 decades of academic experience, research and other things. I don't want to eat into the time. I'm sure you are eagerly awaiting for that, because your HOD mentioned talking about 10 power minus 16 or 10 power minus 18, 10 power minus 20. I got a small 8 minutes video clipping on macrocosmos to microcosmos journey. Yeah. Can I have a portable mic, please? Cordless. First, I'm going to focus onto your leaf in a small bunch of leaves in the garden of a place in Florida, US of A. At temple 1, we go up. The foliage, that is the greenery, looks like this. Next, I move to 10 square. You can see the edifications. That means all the surroundings and the buildings. Next, this is 1 kilometer height. This is from where all of us can use a parachute and jump. Paratroopers minimum has to go for 1 kilometer. This is 10 kilometer height. This is where all your aeroplanes, they keep flying, you know, all the 787 Boeings or A300 Boeings, they fly at that height. This is 100 kilometers. This is the state of Florida. We are out into the atmosphere. Now it is 1,000 kilometers. From here, you see people are going to put your satellites. From 1,000 to, it can go on to even higher heights. This is typical site of 10,000 kilometers. You see the hemisphere, northern hemisphere of Earth. In addition to that, you can see part of South Africa, South America, Latin America, sorry. 1 lakh kilometers, you know, Earth is known as a blueberry. It's a blueberry because of water. It's lovely, blueberry. Here, we have 1 million. That start looking like small. At 1 million kilometers, the moon orbit. Now look at the background, the dots. I'll tell you later what it is. Next, moon's orbit. This is the Earth orbit in which the moon also takes an orbit there itself. The next, you can see Venus and Earth orbit. Venus is in green and Earth is in blue. Next, the various orbits of the solar system. Next, 10 billion kilometers. Next, whole solar system itself. The solar system itself looks very small now here. Next, 1 trillion kilometers. The solar system itself looks like a star. One blink, that's all. Next, there are thousands of stars. This is what is 1 light year. What is 1 light year? 3 lakh kilometers per second multiplied by 365 into 24 into 60 into 60. That's what is so many seconds in a year. 1 light year. Earth looks 10 light years, nothing but infinity. See this picture also almost. Next. This is how a cloud of electron looks. That's what I want to show you later. Next. Nebulae. Milky Way galaxy. We have heard about it. Next. It's a part of Milky Way galaxy at 10,000 light years. Next. Next. We are in that square. That's where we are part of the Milky Way galaxy, where there are millions and billions of stars in addition to sun itself. Next comes this. The Milky Way galaxy itself looks so small. There are so many bigger galaxies. From the distance, all the galaxies look small with immense empty space between them. Like how between a nucleus and electrons, there's immense gap. This sort of gaps exists. The same laws are ruling in all the bodies of the universe. We could continue traveling upwards where our imagination takes place. But no, I'm going to come back. Leave it, it comes automatically. It comes automatically, don't worry, it comes automatically. Yeah, click. It automatically comes, I program, don't worry.
Stop. Okay. We will pass from meters to kilometers. Now it is possible to jump without, come back. Yes, start up. Now we went up. Now I am going to go inside the matter. This is possible only with a microscope, maybe 30 years back. Today it is possible because of electron microscope. Who is the person who designed electron microscope? Some forefathers like you who did electronic engineering. They are the people who did it. Next. Yep, next. You're going up further. No, just, come down. Just leave it. It comes automatically. Don't worry. It's fast. Interfering input. Put a filter. Questions that come to our mind. Who are we? Where are we going? Where did we come from? I'm trying to put a little bit of philosophy also into your mind. Because when you get your PhD, it's known as Doctor of Philosophy. That's why I want to put the element of philosophy also into your mind now. What do we represent in the universe? BE mudichitan. What is BE? Nothing in front of this world. What you're seeing. GTX is in the time. My God. What is it? Nothing. Kattodu kai mannadu kallada ulagaladu. Yeah. Next. Now we are going inside the matter in an inverse strip. Next. We have come to, 10 power minus 1 at a centimeter level focused, delineate the leaves. Next. Structure of a leaf. Next. Is a millimeter. You can see the cell formation, cellular structure. Next. Is a cell of a leaf. Next. Nucleus of a cell. Next. This is 1 micron, 10 power minus 6, nucleus of a cell. It's very clearly visible. Next. What is this? Angstrom is the unit. These are the chromosomes, what we have. Next. This is the DNA chain. Next. DNA blocks. Chromosome blocks. Now stop. That universe 10 power minus 20 plus 24 and this both look alike. So what is inside as an electron and what is outside is one and the same. What you see outside and what you see inside both are one and the same. Start concentrating inside. Then you yourself can become one Vivekananda with knowledge. You can become a Mother Teresa. You can become Isaac Newton. You can become Ramanujan. The problem is we always look at others in jealousy. We don't look inside ourselves what we are. Is the question. It appears like a cloud of electrons. These carbon atoms, they are formed in the world. So macrocosmos and microcosmos is nothing but one and the same. Next. Cloud of electrons. This is what the galaxy look like. Right? Almost same. Cloud of next. 1 picometer is 10 power minus 12 meters. An immense empty space between nucleus and the orbiting electrons. Next. Femtometers. You can see the nucleus of a carbon atom. Next. This is the carbon atom in electronic microscope, how it looks like. See, you come to know about nanotechnology. In nanotechnology, when you have different focuses, the gold doesn't look like yellow. It takes different colors. I'll give a lecture on nanotechnology at a later date. Don't worry about it. You are now femtometers. You are directly witnessing a proton. Come on, give a big clap for the person who, not me, the person who photographed this, that electron engineer who did it. Thanks to that person, I don't know who it is. It was from net, I downloaded. Today I'm able to talk to you. This is here we are in the field of scientific imagination, face to face with the proton. This is how the proton looks like, you know. Yeah. Next. 100 atometers. Now the problem is today human beings with electronic microscope can only access up to 10 power minus 16. Tomorrow, there may be equivalent of Dr. Kalam here in this society, in this system, who can go up to -20, -24, -26 also. It is your knowledge what it's going to make. So with this, and now, are you the center of the universe? Yes, because till to date, in the whole of the solar system, it is only the human beings have got our river. But today, unfortunately, we as students, we are losing our river. We are becoming anjarivu, nalarivu, moonarivu, rendarivu. By what? Jealousy, fighting with each other. We are not behaving like human beings, we are behaving like animals. Remove the animal tendency in you. Become a human being. Bring out the good from you. Become a good human being. Give good. There is Atma. Give good to the system and society. Then you won't be normal Atma. You become Mahatma. Thank you. God bless the function. Thank you very much.
Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Anything can be done with hope and confidence. May I now call upon our symposium coordinator, Mr. S. Selvam, Senior Lecturer, Department of ECE, to introduce our chief guest.
Good morning to one and all. So I am very much happy to introduce our honorable chief guest, Dr. V.S. Kanchana Bhaskaran, Professor and Dean of School of Electronics Engineering, VIT Chennai, has obtained a PhD from the VIT University in the area of low power VLSI design in energy recovery circuit architectures. She has 34 years of industry, research and teaching experience through serving the Department of Employment and Training, Government of Tamil Nadu for 3 years, Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai for 3.5 years, Tamil Nadu and government aided Salem Cooperative Sugar Mills Polytechnic College for 14.5 years, SSN College of Engineering for 11 years, and VIT Chennai for the past 2 years. Her memberships in the professional institutions are as follows. First one is Fellow of Institution of Engineers in India, Fellow of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers in India. Third one is Member of Institution of Engineering and Technology, UK. Fourth one is Member in Institution of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IEEE. The last one is Member in the Society of Technical Education in India. So research and development project, she was the principal investigator for the project titled FPGA Design for Pulsed Signal Processing, sponsored by the Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Kalpakkam. This project involved the design and development of FPGA-based system for measuring the nuclear plant process, control such parameters, temperature, measuring the nuclear plant process, and then conductivity, pH, etc. The system are under the use in Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research in Kalpakkam. Publication of books, journals and conferences. She has authored a book titled Linear Integrated Circuits for the Higher Education Series of Tata McGraw-Hill, India. This book is prescribed by curriculum and syllabi of universities across India. The second edition of the book is under print. She has published around 65 international journal and national and international conferences. She has filed a patent on pre-resolved adiabatic circuit architecture. She is recognized supervisor for guiding PhD, MS in the Anna University, Chennai and VIT universities. She is guiding 7 PhD and 2 MS scholars in her area of specialization in the both universities at present. She is the reviewer of many international journals such as IEEE Transaction on VLSI Circuits and IET Proceedings on Circuits, Devices and Systems, Circuits, Systems and Signal Processing, Electronics Letters, Micro and Nano Letters, International Journal of Electronics and IEEE International Conferences. Thank you.
Every person you meet knows something you don't. Let's learn from them. Now, I request our chief guest, Dr. V.S. Kanchana Bhaskaran, to deliver the keynote address.
Good morning to all. My respects to the dignitaries on the dais, Dr. B.V. Ramakrishna, Professor R. Murugan, I think he is not here, Professor Mani Mekale, and the faculty colleagues and the dear students. As I entered into GTech today morning, the first impression was so good. I have never been here. I am a native of this district only, but I have never been here, and it was very good. Professor Vijay Kumar, he actually was doing his research with me when I was in SSN College of Engineering. Through him, I thought, why don't we go visit the GTech? And we have one research scholar with us in our school, School of Electronics Engineering at IIT Chennai. She is working with MEMS, and I think she was a gold medalist also from GTech. And actually, that gave me the first impression even before I came here. She is a very studious, very sincere girl. And having come for this symposium, actually I thought the symposiums we used to be conducting even in SSN, we will have our students, third year and final year students taking part in that, the final year students guiding the third years, and the third year students with all their whole heart and energy making the things realized during the symposium, inviting other college students and all, getting their performances, everything gauged, presented, showcased in front of the world through papers, through presentations, through your gadgets, what you might have worked with, what you might have produced. All these are the activities what we have in the symposia. And the Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering Symposia, what you have here is really very good. And I don't know the expansion of PFASI, what you call, and you have said exploring electronics from PICO. That is very good. You have got, as sir said, from the very micro to the macro, how we take electronics. And this sort of a podium where you can go for showcasing your abilities is a must. I would say India is the innovation heartbeat, we should say. And you are all electronics and telecommunication engineers. And when we talk of electronics and telecommunication engineers today, where do you think your work is existing? In what form can you got? Right from the mobile phones what you have, right from the watch what you have, what you wear, everywhere the embedded electronics, the car what we drive, the machines what we have at home for our washing machine, right from everything, ovens, everywhere you have some form of electronics present. And how India is going to be contributing for that, how engineers are going to be useful to the world, to the mankind. Principal sir said very nicely, and I should actually give so much of appreciation to what the way he presented and what he presented, how he showcased the information. The information we can get from any source, but the way of conveying the information to the people, to the appropriate people at the appropriate time, in the appropriate manner, that is what would be actually the main thing what we need to have. And that he did today. It was so nice hearing him speak that way. And as I said, the electronics is there everywhere, right from your analog signal, right from your the way you communicate with people, the wireless, everywhere. So I would say the electronics for life. The electronics is for life. How it is going to be for life? Sir touched about the medical electronics. When we talk of medical electronics, it is the health care industry what we are to be concerned about. The health care industry needs you. When I talk of health care, it is going to be from today on is going to be the wearable electronics. The wearable electronics which will make identifying how you do, how a patient does, at what time and what part of his parameters we have got to be monitoring. You cannot always go to the hospital and keep monitoring yourself. The wearable electronics what you have, the medical engineering field, what it needs today is such wearable electronics, the health care systems, and that health care system is depending on you. You for devising the sensors, you for identifying the analog electronics, you for identifying the mixed signal electronics, what goes with that, you for getting the signals transported to where the doctor is there, because we cannot, with our huge population what we have, we cannot have individual health care for all the people at large. We have our electronics and we can go for devising all these so small that we could always keep wearing it, and that wearable electronics is one what we need. And the second one would be the energy conservation. When we talk of energy conservation, as an electronics and communication engineer, I think all these points I should place before you. That is why I started with healthcare. That is first topic of interest. The next topic of interest would be the energy conservation. When we talk of energy conservation, right from energy scavenging, right from operating everything with the lowest power possible, because we are power starved everywhere, not only the physics what we have in our own stamina, it is in the electronic gadgets what we are going to be wearing on us. We are seeking ways and means for going for energy conservation. I should at this point of time tell you some statistics I read some few days back. They have compared the mobile phone, what power it consumes per year, with what you are consuming by way of operating a refrigerator, a fridge at home. They say 361 kilowatt hour for your mobile phone you spend. On the other hand, for the fridge, you are spending only 322 kilowatt hour per year. This particular data, when this calculation, how it was made was, you have the mobile phone with you, every day you go for charging, recharging, and you try to get all the signals, whether it is the data or whether it is the video, audio, any imaging, all the things are now superimposed. You don't differentiate your video data, audio data, or your other data, your scientific data, you don't differentiate anymore. All the things go on the Internet of Things. You don't have any differentiation among them all. And such a sort of data, for that to be transmitted and for that to be received by your mobile phone for processing, and for all these operations, we go for spending so much of energy. And in between, we take the help of satellites to have our data received, sent back and reprocessed. All these things are happening. All these together you go for spending for the energy, and that amounts to so many kilowatt hour. And all these energy what the telecommunications are spending are mainly based on the coal. It is not your nuclear power or anything else. It is going to be only the thermal power. And so we are in need of working for energy conservation methods. The next one is your automotive. Whenever I talk of automotive for your electronics for life, I talk of the signals that you need. Not always we go for carrying wires everywhere. You cannot just simply do anything. We have our automobiles with wireless applications. You have your mobiles operating wireless. You have your wearable electronics operating wireless. Everywhere, I will say, the wireless. Electronics is there, semiconductor is there, wireless is there. All the three are inseparable and all the three are ruling the world, and that is where you are. You, when you go out, you are the electronics and communication engineer, and you are going to be taking care of so many important things in the world. How serious a job you have in front of you. Not only that, this data, particularly what I told you, it is there throughout the world, what I talked about now. It is the same case everywhere. The electronics is present everywhere. But when I talk of India, you being the Indians, what you are in need of doing. If I take one particular chip which is there anywhere in the world, in any one particular point of its origination or its development or its placement, its installation, an Indian touch would have been there. Whether it is the design of the chip or the testing of the chip, the manufacturing of the chip, or final commissioning or installation of the chip, at one point of time an engineer from India, an Indian engineer's mind is there. You be very confident of that. No IC chip can go without your touch. You are so important. And we have that sort of a manpower. And we have very high population. And we have so much of need for electronics. And the foreign countries, they don't actually go for designing. We go for designing. You have even at home the set-top boxes. The set-top boxes, what you have, they have conditional access only to some of the channels and all. Do you know who actually got that arranged? Who got that realized in the set-top boxes? Only the Bangalore Indian design engineering team had actually gone for developing such a thing, and it is there existing worldwide. And we in the Texas Instruments, particularly for example, we have the processing and we have the audio, a complete integration of the processing with so small a facility. We made it realizable. Why to the latest things? Even the 8085 processor, when it was developed, you could have seen, if you had looked at the photo, out of the 15 engineers, you would have seen around 10 engineers from India. That is the case. So you are there everywhere. Your presence is there everywhere. But what we are actually facing in electronics, when I was studying, I have never studied nanoelectronics, nano devices, FinFET, nothing. CNFET, nothing I knew. Even the FET I didn't know. Even the bipolar junction transistor we never studied. We had big vacuum tubes of this height, and we had computers of this particular size. We have a very portable, nice laptop with 5 core processors inside, and AMD is processing some 12 ARM processors inside. That is processors, what you have, reduced instruction set computing, and you are working with such very heavy speeds. And at that time we were working